I'm OEA President Scott Tomorrow. Time for my weekly update. Happy American Education Week to all of you. We begin this week by taking a moment to remember Robert Friesler. He was an OEA member, an elementary music teacher in the Perry schools in Allen County, who died last week of complications related to COVID. We send our deepest sympathies to his family, to his colleagues, and to all whose lives he touched. By all accounts, he was known as an extraordinary teacher who had a tremendous impact on his community. The COVID situation continues to be very serious as we see record numbers of cases over the course of the last week. More people contracting the virus, more people being hospitalized, and sadly more people dying. Along with that, as COVID has spread in the communities, it's also increased in terms of cases in our schools. Schools have been doing a pretty outstanding job when it comes to having measures in place to prevent the spread of the virus when schools are open for in-person instruction. But we're seeing more and more districts across the state that are transitioning back to remote learning, understandably, because of concerns for safety. And because, quite frankly, when you don't have enough people to take care of covering all classrooms, when you have a substitute shortage for teachers and bus drivers and others, we're forced to go remote. We all want to be in person. We know that students thrive best when we're there to serve them, but we can only do that when conditions are safe. And we all have to do our part. We all have to do our part, not just in school, but out of school, by wearing masks, by practicing social distancing, by staying home when we're sick, by making sure that we are quarantining when required to do so, and by doing all we can to encourage effective testing and tracing as we all look forward to the vaccines, great developments over the course of the last 2 weeks. Those vaccines coming on the horizon as we advocate to make sure that educators are going to be near the front of the line in receiving those vaccines. But again, it is incumbent that we're not cutting corners, and that school districts and that boards of health are not cutting corners when it comes to the health and safety of our members. We want to hear from you in terms of how things are going in your community. There are two ways that we're asking for feedback. One is we're collaborating with the University of Kentucky on an important health and wellness survey, along with our colleagues in Indiana and Kentucky, to look at the long-term impact on what COVID mitigation efforts are doing to the mental health and the physical health and the well-being of school staff, teachers and ESPs in all 3 states. I encourage you to participate in that survey. You should have received an email from me, and that's going to be a long-term study that we are participating in. We also are asking in the short term for feedback on how things are going for you in your classroom. The last time that we asked was in the summer. We want to know, now that we're a few months into the school year, how things are going for you, what's going well, what do you have concerns about, as we continue to develop and refine our advocacy at the state level on these issues. It's important for us to hear from all of our members. Also this week, there are a lot of things happening at the State House. With the election over, we're in lame duck season for the Ohio legislature. We are advocating for a fair school funding plan. We're pushing to prevent the further expansion of Ed Choice vouchers. We are advocating for passage of Senate Bill 358, which would provide essential relief on evaluation and report card and other testing related measures as we continue to teach in the middle of a pandemic. And we are also continuing to push for repeal of House Bill 70, the return of local control, the end of academic distress commissions, not just for our colleagues in East Cleveland and Youngstown and Lorain, but for all districts. We know that state takeovers and privatization is bad for kids, and so we're pushing now for legislators to act. I hope that you have a good week. I hope that you have a good and safe holiday season. Wear those masks, practice that social distancing. Let us know how things are going. Talk to you soon.